Alright, let's get down to business. Safety. Let's start off with some of the boring stuff first. I know, but listen. Eat your vegetables, then you can have dessert, okay? In order to ensure chemical safety in the workplace, L&L Products is required by OSHA's Hazard Communication Standard, or HCS, to provide information about the identities and hazards of the chemicals used in the facility. This information is distributed by way of safety data sheets and proper labeling. Hazard classification provides specific criteria for the classification of health and physical hazards, as well as the classification of mixtures. Because of this, L&L Products provides informative labels for chemicals that display supplier identification, a product identifier, a harmonized signal word, pictograms, precautionary statements, and a hazard statement for each hazard class and category. The supplier identification provides the name, address, and telephone number of the manufacturer or supplier. The product identifier is the area of a label that says what the chemical is. It should match the product identifier on the safety data sheets. The signal word indicates the relative level of the hazard severity. Danger and warning are the GHS signal words. Precautionary statements describe the recommended measures to minimize or prevent adverse effects resulting from exposure. The hazard statement is a phrase assigned to a hazard class and category that describes the nature of the product hazards. Pictograms are graphical compositions intended to convey specific hazard information. This one stands for flammable contents, and this one stands for explosives. Think items like gasoline that you would use at home. This one stands for oxidizers, which would be like hydrogen peroxide. This one stands for corrosives. This would be like a household drain cleaner. This one stands for specific toxicity hazards, which would be the same as using pesticides at your home. This one stands for acute toxicity. Chlorine bleach can give this effect. This one stands for irritants, sensitizers, and other hazards, like the DEET found in a lot of mosquito sprays. This one stands for aquatic hazards. Ammonia falls into this category. And this one stands for gases under pressure, which you could liken to 7525, which is not an item you could find in your own household, but is still nonetheless relevant. If a picture's worth 1,000 words, then by using these pictograms, I've saved you from having to read like 9,000 words. You're welcome. Safety data sheets are used to communicate the hazards of hazardous chemical products. The sheets are organized by section numbers and headings so the information can be easily identified. Section 1, Identification, includes the chemical's descriptors, the manufacturer's information, and emergency contact numbers. Section 2, Hazard Identification, includes all hazards regarding the chemical and other required label elements. Section 3, Composition or Information on Ingredients, includes information on chemical ingredients and other trade secret claims. Section 4, First Aid Measures, includes important symptoms and effects of acute and chronic conditions as well as the required treatment for each injury or illness. Section 5, Firefighting Measures, lists suitable extinguishing techniques, equipment, and chemical hazards that can be caused by the ignition of the chemical. Section 6, Accidental Release Measures, lists emergency procedures, protective equipment, and proper methods of containment and cleanup. Section 7, Handling and Storage, lists precautions for safe handling and storage of the chemical in question, as well as its incompatibilities with other substances. Section 8, Exposure Controls and Personal Protection, lists OSHA's permissible exposure limits, as well as the appropriate engineering controls and personal protective equipment. Section 9, Physical and Chemical Properties, lists the chemical's characteristics. Section 10, Stability and Reactivity, lists the chemical's stability and the possibility of hazardous reactions the chemical can have with other chemicals or other conditions. Section 11, Toxicological Information, includes routes of exposure, related symptoms, acute and chronic effects, and numerical measures of toxicity. Sections 12, 13, 14, and 15 include ecological information, disposal considerations, transport information, and regulatory information respectively. Section 16, Other Information, includes the date of preparation and the last revision of the safety data sheet. If you need to locate these sheets at any time, they can be found in the M files on the L&L intranet. If you have any other questions regarding safety data sheets or labeling, contact the EHS department. Phew! That was a pretty hearty meal. You want seconds? I'm just messing around. I know you're ready for dessert. And lucky for you, I baked a pie to end all other pies. So to speak. Alright, I'm done with the food metaphor. And now for some safety rules. What to know before entering the premises. There will be absolutely no drugs or alcohol allowed on L&L property. Period. Smoking isn't allowed on L&L property either. You must go outside of L&L property for that. Not here. Dude, did you even see the sign? Yeah, you're gonna need a car where you're going. Sorry, buddy. Little further. There you go. Only authorized employees can perform confined space work, hot work, and operation of L&L equipment or machines. All equipment and supplies must meet safety standards before use. In the case of an injury, dial code 100 on landline and wait for the paging tone to finish. Clearly speak your location and hang up. The page will play after you hang up. IM-24, Lean Road. This will allow first responders to come to your aid. After the incident, please file an incident report before the end of your shift using one of the computers throughout the facility. Make sure to complete the required information based on what you're submitting. Employees must properly dispose of any waste or unused chemicals, such as solvents, paint, and oil. See your group leader or the EHS department if you have any questions about disposal. Personal protective equipment. Hearing protection is recommended in designated areas. Hair longer than shoulder length must be tied back securely before going to the manufacturing, research and development, and product development areas. Ponytails and braids longer than 12 inches from the crown of the head to the tip shall be restrained up, worn under a cap, or otherwise contained to prevent entanglement. Oh, that's funny, is it? Well, beards and mustaches longer than 6 inches shall be contained to prevent entanglement as well. Yeah, who's laughing now? Safety glasses are required in R&D and manufacturing areas, including shipping and receiving. Jewelry, scarves, loose sleeves, neckties, lapels, loose cuffs, or other loose clothing shall not be worn around machinery in which it might become entangled. Ooh, so close, but you can't wear open-toed or heeled shoes either. What to know when you enter the premises. Fork truck traffic will be present in most areas of the plant. Pedestrians should not assume they have the right-of-way. Making eye contact or announcing your presence to the driver is the best way to ensure your safety. Please obey the danger, caution, and warning signs posted throughout the plant. Caution indicates a hazardous situation that, if not avoided, could result in minor or moderate injury. Warning indicates a hazardous situation that, if not avoided, could result in serious injury or death. Danger indicates a hazardous situation that, if not avoided, will result in serious injury or death. Its use should be limited to the most extreme situations. Earbuds and cell phones cannot be used in manufacturing, warehouse, and laboratory areas. There will be no food or open drink in the manufacturing, warehouse, and laboratory areas. Covered drinks, however, are acceptable. Make sure to practice proper body mechanics when doing any form of physical activity. Some machines have guards on them to protect you from injuring yourself. If a machine guard has been removed, don't run the machine. Please practice proper storage of flammable contents and keep your area clean from any debris or clutter. Also, don't block access to any fire extinguishers on the premises. Only authorized personnel are allowed to perform and remove lockout tagouts on any given machine. Do not power up a machine until you make sure your group leader says you can if you can't tell whether it's operable or not. If you have any questions on whether a lockout tagout should be in place, contact your group leader. Emergencies and shelter. In the event of severe weather, an announcement will be made.
Attention please. Due to the severe weather conditions,
Proceed to the nearest severe weather assembly area and wait for further instructions. Tornado shelters and evacuation diagrams are located throughout the facility. During an emergency evacuation, an alarm will sound. Go to the nearest exit and proceed to your assigned or designated area. Enhanced 911, or E911, is a system used in North America to automatically provide the caller's location to 911 dispatchers. 911 is the universal emergency telephone number in the region. When the system is used, it will show dispatchers specific information such as business name, street address, city, state, zip code, door number, floor number, and department. And that's it! That wasn't all that much, right? Just remember, these rules are meant to assist you in doing your job as safe as possible while you reside at L&L Products. Safety is extremely important to L&L, more than anything else. All we ask from you is your cooperation to make sure you leave here happy and healthy. And if you see something that you don't believe is safe, let us know. We want to correct all unsafe conditions before they result in an injury or illness. If you have any questions in regards to the contents of this video, please contact the Environmental Health and Safety Department at this number. Thank you for your cooperation and for helping us continue to make L&L Products a good place for all who touch it.